Hello, welcome to Golden Table Tennis, where we talk about table tennis, analyze players, and make match predictions. Today is going to be our first episode for the match analysis series. This is going to be a new series on my channel where I analyze matches. For our first episode, we are going to analyze the match between Wang Chuqin and Kristian Karlsson. Wang Chuqin and Kristian Karlsson has faced each other 4 times, and the head-to-head is 3 wins for Wang Chuqin and 1 win for Kristian Karlsson. However, these two players had met twice in a very short period of time. The first time was the WTT Champions a few months ago, and the most recent one is the World Team Table Tennis Championships held a few weeks ago. Each player won 1 match and lost 1 match, but both matches went to the full distance to the 5th set, which is very thrilling. But the question is, why? Wang Chuqin is a young and upcoming Chinese star. He has defeated the best players in the world, including Ma Long, Zhendong, and Xu Xing. He even has a perfect record of not losing to any foreigners since 2019, until Kristian Karlsson broke his streak. A lot of fans, including the Chinese coaches, think that he is the next world number 1, next world champion, and a lot of people has been speculating that he is going to be one of the representatives for Team China to play the singles event in the 2024 Paris Olympics. Kristian Karlsson, on the other hand, is a Swedish veteran in his 30s. He has not been performing well in recent years. He never won any major titles, and a lot of his younger teammates are slowly overtaking him. For last year's Olympics, he wasn't even selected to play. I think one of the reasons is because he is not really a fast rallying player, and this is why he is losing in the modern game of speed table tennis. After listening to the story of these two players, you will be confused. Why a promising young player who has such a dominant result recently struggled to play against somebody who is struggling with form and facing threats of getting replaced? How did Kristian Karlsson manage to do something that even some of his teammates who are arguably better than him failed to do? A lot of people think that this is because Wang Chuqin has just won the title in the WTT Star Contender, so he is physically and mentally exhausted. But if so, why was the match against Karlsson during the World Team Table Tennis Championships also so close, even though Wang had a few months rest? Doesn't make sense, right? In this video, we are going to discuss and analyze why this is the case. Now, logically speaking, in order to play so well against such a dangerous player like Wang Chuqin, Kristian Karlsson must be doing something right. So what did he do right? From my observations, I see that Karlsson wins points in these few areas. Number 1, the short game. Number 2, service receive. Number 3, counter-attacking. Number 4, surprise service. And number 5, placement and rhythm breaking. Whereas on the other hand, Wang Chuqin wins points in these few areas: rallying, effective serving, forehand attacks, and banana flicks. I want you guys to remember these points, as it would come in handy later on in the video to understand why the matchup between these two are so close. Now, let's begin the analysis, starting with the match in WTT Champions Budapest. The first game was very close. It was decided by a margin of a few points. The reason is because there were a lot of short game rallies in this game. One should have really avoided this, as like I said, Karlsson's short game is very good. Not that Wang Chuqin's short game is bad. It is also very good, but he has to really try to avoid playing what's comfortable for Karlsson. Instead, play what Karlsson doesn't feel comfortable. You can see in the game that Wang won a lot of points just by using his Chiquita and playing rallies, where Karlsson was obviously not comfortable in those areas, but in this game, you don't see a lot of it.
So explosive. That's where it came over with the flick. Excellent containing.
Chinese coaching staff
Kristian Karlsson to go 8-7 up there. Bit clever serve. Gets away with it.
Went from 1 at 10-9. Karlsson with a chance. Closure.
And again, snapped.
Overall, I think that Wang only narrowly escaped this game because Karlsson made more errors, but the short game strategy is proven to be quite effective against Wang. Karlsson won the second game, and the main reason is because Wang is still playing the short game against Karlsson. Only difference is that Karlsson made much less errors compared to the first game. In addition to that, he received Wang's serve quite well this game, and I think that made the big difference. Wang still wins points using the banana flick and rallying, but somehow for whatever reason he is not unleashing it.
He's read him for length there on both.
Have to have decisiveness.
From Jorgen Persson there. Yeah, it's this kind of, remember it's only one timeout you've got for the match. Decided to use it midway through this game. Oh.
Remember when I said that Karlsson has a deadly counter-attack? This is it, and there will be more shots like this to come further in the match. Of course, this shot was only possible because Karlsson's short game. He gave Wang Chuqin a half-long ball and forced him to play a slow, high and low quality loop. See how Karlsson struggles in the fast rallies? Wang Chuqin is unfortunately not playing enough of these strategy.
2 serves to come. Needs to serve unless he wants to go high risk with a long one.
Oh, really good flick there.
I think Wang Chuqin's expecting him to either touch or backhand flick there.
Oh, nice. And
the last point again, Wang playing Karlsson's favorite short game rally, which Karlsson is so comfortable with. He controlled the last point too well with a little of rhythm breaker. Did you guys count how many times Karlsson used this surprise long serve? So far, the success rate is 100%.
he's just looping.
Again, short game and slow rhythm breaking loop. Wang really needs to change his strategy ASAP. Wang won this short game point because he isn't weak in the short game, but statistically speaking in the match, Karlsson is way better in the short game.
This Wang Chuqin's giving him a long ball. It isn't a flick.
Karlsson has no trouble flicking Wang's hook serve. Already few times in this match he has done this successfully, and he will continue to execute this with success in future points. This is exactly what Wang Chuqin should be doing, playing the rallies. He is winning points with it about 80% of the time, so I don't know why he is not doing it. Still playing the short game, Karlsson is dominating these rallies, giving half-long ball, force a weak loop, then boom, gone. When is Wang Chuqin going to realize this?
2, 3.
win the bridge very, very well. Serves. Inch.
Long, where I was impressed with that aspect of his game above all.
Karlsson's counter-attacking on fire. Like I said, one of the key points to beating Wang Chuqin.
Points here. Points here from 10-all. Balance.
And the smart placement seals the deal for Karlsson. Overall, Karlsson won because of the short game and the reason why Wang Chuqin was able to catch up because he played the rallies with him. But alas, he went back to playing the short game towards the final few points. Wang Chuqin won the fourth game quite convincingly, and the reason is because he switched his strategy to avoid playing the short game with Karlsson. He tries to play more open rallies where Karlsson is not strong and avoid pushing short with him. He uses the banana flick whenever he got the chance. His service this game is also very effective, which earned him many attacking opportunities. Now watch to understand.
Final they had, the distance. What I've seen of him, and I've been particular game he played.
He rises to the occasion. And I think the fact, as again, I'm just speaking a little bit soon. What?
Oh, flick.
The need for speed. Didn't look like a bad touch either from Karlsson, but the way he wrapped around that, so much racket speed.
Five game points.
See, rallying and banana flicking is very effective for Wang against Karlsson. That's why he dominated this game. Now game 5 is where things get very interesting.
Is that really all I had to do? Just...
Yeah.
That banana flick of Wang Chuqin is so effective against Karlsson. He should have really used it more often in earlier games. Despite short pushing the most successful strategy for Karlsson the entire match, Wang Chuqin did pretty well in this rally to beat Karlsson at his own game. Karlsson is really not that strong in the rallies. This should have been the strategy that Wang Chuqin used instead of playing the short game.
In enough. Well, I was...
Countering Wang's attack is also another key condition for Karlsson to win the match. Again, beating Karlsson in his own game and not bothered by the slow awkward loop, countering it with full confidence.
To what Karlsson is going for.
Karlsson received this serve well. Take note of this, as good service received is one of the reasons how he made his comeback. Another point won by rallying. I hope that you guys get my point by now.
Pull this one off. That it would be as big.
Karlsson's deceptive serving will haunt Wang Chuqin at the end of this game. Once again, open rally winner, but the next point is my humble opinion the turning point of the match.
This match.
Karlsson won this open rally against Wang despite it being his weak point and Wang's strong point. Wang was unable to win the point in his own game, which cost him the 8-3 lead, and I think this somewhat distracted him and made him lose focus. This should have been Wang's signature strategy, to force a weak loop and then crush it with his backhand. He shouldn't have missed it.
No mistake there though, that just keeps him in touch.
With that deceptive serve, Karlsson has now narrowed down the gap to 2 points only.
If you receive.
Speaking of
Again with the strong flick receive. I don't know, did you notice by now that all these points won by Karlsson to make the comeback was in the first 2 balls, serve and receive. No banana flick, nor rallying or any of that sort from Wang Chuqin. Maybe this is why Karlsson made the comeback? This is where Wang Chuqin sees the last light of the day, as this is his final point of the match. He won it by executing his signature strategy to give a half-long ball, force a weak loop from his opponent, and then boom it for the winner. Up 9-7. 2 more points needed to win the match, but Wang let Karlsson win 4 straight points in a row to take the match. Is this a choke? Did Wang Chuqin crumble under pressure? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. To regular fans, this was a very big choke on Wang Chuqin's side, but let me tell you what really happened in the last few points. Karlsson changed his strategy to play his strengths, serving and short game. Take this point for example. Karlsson once again playing the short pushing game and was better at it. Wang Chuqin's footwork and rhythm was completely messed up, and Karlsson made a 200 IQ play by playing a slow shallow loop down the line where the table was wide open. At 9-0, Karlsson's short game has once again been proven to be better than Wang when he popped the push up high for Karlsson to finish it. Of course, it is a tight moment and there must be immense pressure on Wang's side. The last point was pretty much a pressure error from Wang's side because the ball was already popped up high and he shouldn't have missed it. However, that ball is a bit inside the table, which can be awkward to handle despite being high, but if Wang was slightly more patient, he would have made it. But I think you got the rough idea what happened this match. Karlsson was better at the short game and there were more short games in this match. Wang Chuqin has a great banana flick and great rallying skill, which obviously also Karlsson's weakness, but was underutilized. In the next match, you will see what Wang Chuqin did differently and how it determined his revenge. The first 2 games were won by Karlsson, but then Wang Chuqin made an epic comeback to win 3 straight games to take the match. Let's see how he did it. The first 2 games had less rallies and banana flicks, mostly short games, serve attack, and counter attacks, which are all Karlsson's strengths. Observe.
All behind their players here. Variety of styles. Now, Kristian Karlsson and on serve. Yes, he can. And he's converted it.
Summary of the first 2 games: short game, counter attacks, receive for the majority of points. all Karlsson's strengths, but this will all change in the last 3 games as Wang will now utilize his backhand flick and rallying skills with huge effect. Also, he is now ready to counter Karlsson's counter. Now watch.
Zhendong in the 4th spot. Trying, he's playing high risk serves. Are followed. A lead like this slid. Touch.
There were hardly any short rallies in this game, but there were a lot more banana flicks and counter attacks on Wang's side. That is why the scoreline of Game 3 was so dominant. Karlsson never got the chance to play what he is good at. This is a smart move by Wang. He knows Karlsson is good in a short game, so he pushed long and Karlsson wasn't ready to attack, avoiding short pushing with Karlsson at all cost.
Spectacular! 3 game points for Wang Chuqin to make it 2-all.
Wang was lucky to escape this point as he was quite shaky in the short game, and had Karlsson made that backhand punch, mentally Wang Chuqin will be devastated.
Take the opportunity. But is that okay? I think that's going to be the key thing. Deep it goes. Oohs and ahs from the...
Now you see what I mean? Playing banana flicks and rallies as well as avoiding the short game was key here in Budapest as well as the first 2 games in the World Team Table Tennis Championships. Wang was playing too many short rallies with Karlsson. It really made a big difference. This proves that strategy is key to winning in table tennis. As a conclusion, I would like to add a few of my own points. Karlsson is actually not a bad player. In fact, out of all the Swedish players, I like him the most, regardless of how many times he keeps losing to his teammates. You know why? Because his playstyle gives me hope that you do not have to be fast and agile to play table tennis. Kristian Karlsson is not really a speed-oriented, close-to-the-table player. He is more of a player who relies on powerful attacks on both sides and uses deceptive serves together with good short game to further magnify the effect. Especially now in the modern days of table tennis, this style is getting less and less because its effectiveness is lowered. Everyone nowadays focuses on speed close to the table and it's getting boring. Watching Karlsson's gameplay reminds me of how beautiful table tennis can be. I have come to the end of today's video. What do you guys think? Do you agree with my analysis? Do you want me to do more of these videos in the future? If you do, let me know in the comment section below on what other matches you want me to analyze. With that, I've come to the end of today's video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.